In today's video we are going to be flying the P-38L for the Chinese tech tree. I got an 8-kill game with some teamwork, with some general flight performance, with some dogfights, basically everything you want in a single game to showcase this plane to you. And for this clip I'm going to show you a little dogfight with a Spitfire, and you might wonder where that Spitfire might be. And with a very close ear you can maybe hear him. I can hear him, I don't see him yet though, and there he is. He's diving on me. At this point I think I'm basically boned. It's a Spitfire, he has more energy than me. But then I noticed something. It's the clipped wing 5.0 Merlin Spit, and that thing loses a lot of energy in turn. So if I just make him turn a few times, I will eventually out energy him, even though he has a better climb rate. But it doesn't matter here because he just loses that much more energy. And now I'm on a 6. I have the position, so all I have to do is now just drain off his energy. I have basically all the tools at my disposal, so I just want to drain him. I'm gonna pull in right here. See, I'm not gonna get the shot. Dodge that. Stay behind him. Go straight vertical. Drop the Fowler flaps, which are really good. He tries to pull in. Not happening. And I just go up again here. And you can see that he just does not have the energy anymore. He's going about 200 right here. And I'm only going 200 now, and I'm way above him. I'm gonna do a stall here. He dives out. Smart thing to do, because if he tried to follow that one, he would have 100% stalled below me and died. But because he dove away and we're on the deck, he doesn't have the ability to regain his energy. He's too slow to dodge, he's too low to do anything. He can't really get out of my guns anymore. And there he goes. So the P-38L, what is it good at and what does it do? If you're used to the other P-38s, this thing is pretty similar. But the biggest difference will be the boosted controls and the air brakes. You can actually air brake if you're compressing too much, and you can actually roll to get your shots in. Because you know that with the other P-38s, the roll kind of compresses and it's very hard to shoot people down sometimes at higher speeds. And this thing of course thrives at higher speeds or extremely low speeds. Do keep in mind that this thing is a little bit awkward at low speed if you're not using your elevator input with your keys and use your mouse aim, because it just pulls a lot less. And here we go for the first guy. This dude is pitching up. He's trying to shoot down a teammate of mine, and I literally shoot him down half a second after he kills my teammate, so I was a little bit too late. But I tried nonetheless, and that's a T18 out of the match, of which I will make a video very soon as well. Go ahead on with the A6M. I have a lot more energy than him because I just came out of a dive, he was still climbing, so I can just go vertical again. No way he's ever going to catch this. A T18 dies in the background, and I can just go up here. I'm still going 280, which is plenty of speed. He cannot pitch up after this. He tries to. The Zero is basically energy trapped at this point, and I can run this train on him until he dies. Well, it's very high altitude here, and I do have the advantage, and I had more energy coming into the fight to begin with. So that's kill number 2, very early on, and that's because of the air spawn. Because of this air spawn, it makes it so you can come in very quickly and kill some people that are mostly low energy, not very aware yet, and do some early game damage. And the more damage you do early game, the less you have to carry, which is the nice thing of these air spawn planes. You can get in there and kill people before they start killing people of your team. And what this does is it creates a snowball effect where you get a number advantage, and that number advantage grows because the enemy has to shoot more people than you have to shoot, so they start piling up, and sometimes this creates a very fast game that ends in a few minutes. And other times it ends a little bit like this, because I did some early game damage, it allowed me to carry. Shoot some long range rounds on the FU, it's the FU1, it's not really much of a threat, so I'm just gonna let a Yak 9 do his thing and chase him down to the deck. I see there's 2 Spitfires on my altitude, and Razor is keeping him busy. There's also 2 BVs and another guy up at altitude, so I'm just gonna hope they're gonna keep them busy, because these guys on the deck are ground pounding, and there's 3 of them on the deck. So I want to kill these 3 guys because I felt something in my gut that I was going to need to carry with Razor. So I wanted to get these numbers down and make it so that they don't win on tickets, because if they win on tickets, it's game. And in the end, this actually won us the game. So I go straight up again, turn my web back on, do a little bit of a turn, try to stay horizontal, try to find a target that's really appealing to me. P-38 is fighting the Yak 9. Which probably means he's gonna go vertical here, because that's what most people do in the dogfight. And there he comes. P-38 going straight up, flies into my guns, shoot his tail off, and back off we go. FU is going for the Yak 9, so I want to turn a little bit right now to get out of his line. And if he tries to go for me here, he will just stall himself out and he will die. He doesn't try to, smart decision, but at the same time he is way too slow to actually pose any kind of threat. A little bit of poor aim. It doesn't matter, crit him nonetheless, flies into the ground. F6F, go head on with him, start turning into him, and I basically win this fight at the moment we merge. He can go head on with me, this thing is pretty fragile, but after we get past the merge, I basically win. Don't want to commit, no need for me to do so, I have all the advantages in the world here, so we just go straight back up, keep looking around, and the Spitfires are now coming in for me. But this F6F is going to die way before the Spitfires get here, and he's just simply too slow. And that's another guy dead. And that's 5 kills. Spitfires coming in. Now these two Spitfires played it actually pretty smart. The one mistake they did make was not committing to me here. But that's of course afterwards. At this very time, it's a good decision to go for Razor instead. He is higher than me. I basically can't touch him right now. And it's 2v1 for them. So they can 2v1 him and then 2v1 me. Instead of 2v1ing me and then having the 2v1 Razor with an energy disadvantage. So they did the right thing. But after the game was ended, I would have done it differently, but it's always very easy to say. They fought it pretty well, but they're in pretty poor planes and they made some small mistakes, but I will point those out as we go. I will now just climb away, get above Razor, and then come back in again, so that we have an actual 2v2 going on. Razor's now dragging them down. They got a little bit too committed, which is their first mistake here. And now they're pretty low, and I'm above them, and you don't really want a P-38 above you. And I don't need to explain to you why that is, because this thing, you just don't want planes above you, especially when you're something like a Spitfire, because a Spitfire is very easy to drain of its energy, and after it's drained of its energy, it's not a very good plane anymore. Of course, you've got exceptions like the LF9, but in general, you don't want planes above you whatsoever. But right now, I'm just coming in, making it so that Razor is just dragging them along. The longer they go straight, the more energy they lose, because they're not climbing. And I'm slightly diving on them here. Go back into a very slight climb, seeing what they're going to do, see if they notice me. If one of them turns around, they're going to be dropping a lot of energy. And they should, because I'm coming in from behind. We got them sandwiched in between us right here, which is a very advantageous position for us. And at this point, it's just a matter of waiting and seeing what they will do. Keep checking my 6, because there's still a fighter in the air. I know he is. He has been ground pounding at the start of the match. And that's the reason we're down on tickets right now. And then there's also a bomber in space, so I don't really have to worry about him. So I know that somewhere there's another fighter, but for right now it's just a matter of trying to clean these two Spitfires up. There's 2 of them. We're in a much better position here. There's 2 of us versus 2 of them, so we should be completely fine here. First Spitfire turns around, so what I do is just not go head on with him. Break off, he just did a 180, he lost a lot of energy. I do my patented spiral climb, and we drop back down on him. Keep looking at the other Spitfire, because I know they're in a squad, so they're probably on voice comms. So I want to make sure that I don't overcommit to this dude and the other guy sneaking up on me, because I don't want that. Break back off, use all the speed that I have, turn it back into altitude, and rinse repeat. No way he's going to be pitching up for me, but he dropped a lot of altitude here, and I want to scare him a bit lower, because the lower he goes, the better for us. What I'm doing right now is pushing him to the deck, and by pushing him to the deck, I basically eliminated him from the fight, making it a 1v2 versus the other Spitfire at altitude. Because that Spitfire down low right now is not able to do anything to us anymore. He's too low, he bled all of his energy, and now we can just 2v1 this guy literally a kilometer away from his teammate. Which might sound a little bit morbid, but you know, gotta take every advantage we can get. I'm just extending at this point, closing my radiators a little bit to get a little bit of extra speed, and the Spitfire now has to turn. I go up, open my radiators again because I don't want to overheat. Spitfire did a merge with Razor, he lost a lot of energy there. And now we are just trying to keep him right above his teammate so that the teammate can actually climb away. And if the teammate tries to climb up to us, we can just go for him. Spitfire pitching up, not taking the shot, good decision. He's chasing Razor, I'm chasing him. 2v1 are always something you don't really want to fight in. You have an invisible engine for some reason. Blow him up, and now we go for the dude on the deck. He's extremely slow, he's very low, and at this point it's basically just draining his energy and then shooting him out of the air. I already got all the energy in the world and I got a 6, so there's very little he can actually do here. Get a crit, damage him some more, pull off in time, go straight vertical, no way he's going to be chasing me. Drop the flaps to get a shot in here, but at this point it's a done deal. He's damaged, he's low, he's slow, and it's a pilot snipe. And that's kill number 7. And at this point, I'm going to be going RTB. And why are we going RTB? Because I'm pretty low on ammo, at least on the 20 mil. I'm relatively low on fuel. So what I want to do is get my fuel and ammo back up so I can actually kill the last 2 guys. And on the way to the base, I noticed something. This F6F started ground pounding and it cost us a lot of tickets. I'm sorry for the cut, but I actually quit the recording because I was RTBing and I thought this is just going to be empty footage. So again, I'm not going to be boring you with that, but I didn't actually record it. But I turned back around because this guy was going to win the game on tickets. The tickets are pressuring me a bit here, so I want to make sure that I get there as soon as I can, that he gets distracted and stops killing them, because we need to kill those ground units as well. Go head on with him, try to pull up over him. He's extremely slow, almost gets a hit on me, but at this point I win. He doesn't have the energy, he doesn't have the turn rate, he doesn't have the anything. I pull back down on him. Notice that I'm not going to get the shot here, potentially maybe ram him, so I don't go for the shot, I just loop behind him and we go straight back up again. And you can see that he just cannot touch this at all. I just go up, I have much better flaps, much better energy than him. And he's a bit of a boat, he turns extremely well, but not well enough. Try the neck G there, but don't get the shot in because of the flaps. If you get your flaps down, you can't really move your nose down, because of course you have a lot more lift, which makes your plane want to go up. He tries to extend away, but he's too slow. Just holds him with the 50 kills. I still have 9,900 rounds left, and that's kill number 8. Last guy is in orbit, and now we're kind of against the clock. We got 8 minutes left, they got a lot more tickets than us. But luckily this map has ground units like pillboxes, so I can just strafe these. Try to shoot the top. Takes quite a bit of ammo, but there you go, he blows up. And that's how we're going to win the match here. I run out of fuel, very last minute, but then the timer runs out and we get to win. Sorry I didn't actually record the scoreboard, but you'll have to just imagine something about getting a lot of rewards here. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all very soon again.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win. Attacking!